Hi everybody, welcome to the first video of section 1.2. Today in this video we're going to be talking about a ratio. And what is a ratio? A ratio is the quotient or the answer to two numbers being divided. A lot of times this can look like a fraction. It could also be a whole number. It's a different way of writing a decimal. We'll get into that more as we go. So if we look at this example, this is the example you have in your notes. We're going to be looking at how to write them as a fraction first. So the greatest rainfall ever recorded in the United States during a 12-month period was 739. Okay, and then so if we look at that and we know we have a 12-month period, when we want to find the ratio of rain to time, okay, so if we look at the rain, this is the rain. This is how much raindrops, okay? Raindrops. This is the rain. So we have rain, la lluvia, 739, and months. We have 12 months. So we can write a ratio of rain to time, 739 over 12, or if we pay really close attention, what happens? We have time, rainfall. So since this is first, it goes on top. Since this is second, it goes on the bottom. Let's look at some more. Shark attacks. What is the ratio of shark attacks in the U.S. waters? Okay, so if we look at what we have shark attacks in the U.S., okay, versus shark attacks worldwide. Okay, well, let's see. There were 71. Okay, so I noticed if I'm looking for the word worldwide, I see the word worldwide right here, and that's 71 worldwide. Okay, and then if I want to find in the US is right here, that's referring to 50. So since this is first, that number goes on top, 50 over, and then the number that happens second goes on the bottom, which would be 71. Okay, so if we use that idea again, in North Carolina, so North Carolina had 2, and then South Carolina had 5. Let's try one more. Florida, 32. Okay, total. So let's take a look at the word total. We see total, means we want to add of the 5 other states. So we're going to add these together. So that's 7 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 7 and 5 is 12, 15, 17, 18. So if we want to find out if a ratio is the same, we need to simplify. So if we look at this one that we just had here, a number that goes into both 32 and 18 would be 4. So if I divide the top by 4, not 4, 2. Let's start with 2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. 18 divided by 2 is 9. These are the same ratio, 32 to 18, as 16 is to 9. 1 is the original data, 1 is the simplified data. Okay, so if we look at 2.4 to 10, so this comes first, 2, this means it's on the second. So I'm going to multiply by 10 because you're not allowed to have a decimal, so no decimals in fractions. So if I multiply by 10, that's where we get 24 over 100. There is the number 4 that goes into both of those, so if I divide by 4, I'd be left with 625. Okay, so if we look at this again, 40 over 22.5 or 22.5, multiply by 10, we get 400 over 25. We can simplify that down to 16 over 9. And you do not have to go all the way here in one step. What we're doing is we're taking it little by little. So because I'm not allowed to have a decimal, if I had 40 over 22.5 and I want to move this decimal over 1, I need to add a 0 here. That's how they got 400 over 225. I know that 5 goes into both of those numbers because it ends in 0 and 5. So if I divide by 5, 5 goes into 40 8 times. Okay, 5 goes into 0 0 times. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 goes into 5 1 time. Then I know that the number, let's see, does the number 3 go into both of those? Let's see. Oh, I see my mistake. Okay, my mistake is that I wrote this down wrong. It should be 22. So let's try that again because that didn't work out so great. Let's go back to the red step. 22.5. So if I divide that by 5, 5 goes into 22 5 times with 2 leftovers. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Now I can divide by 5 again. So 5 goes into 8 1 time with 3 leftovers. 5 goes into 30 6 times. 5 goes into 55. Oh, that should be 45 9 times. Sorry guys, it's really late when I'm making this video and I've made a few mistakes. Okay, so let's practice writing ratios and then we'll simplify them. So 4 to 6. 4 comes first, 6 on the bottom. The number that goes into both 4 and 6 would be 2/3. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and pause the video, practice these on your own, and then resume it to check your work. Okay, so if I keep going, 28 over 36. Okay, 28 comes first, it goes on top, 36 goes to the bottom. The number that goes into both 28 and 36 is 4, so that would be 7 over 9. Let's try again. So if I have 2.8 over 3.6, if I want to, move this decimal 1 time, I move this decimal 1 time, that would give me 28 over 36, which is what we just had, brings us back to 7 over 9. Let's try another one. If I have 5.6 over 10, I want to move this over, I need to move this one, so I get 56 over 100. I know the number 2 goes into both of those, so 2 goes into 5 2 times, carry my 1, 2 goes into 16 8 times. 100 divided by 2 is 50. I can divide both of those by 2 and I'd get 14 over 25. Okay, in the rectangle, find the ratio of length, that's this one, to width. Okay, so if we want to do length to width, that means I'm going to go ahead and use the number on top, which it looks like it's 476 maybe. Sorry, it's hard to read. And then my width number, which would be 213. Okay? And then so this is length to width. If I wanted to do width to length, all that changes is the way the numbers are written. So we would do 213 to 476. Okay. Shortest length to the longest leg. Okay, so if we look at this triangle, the shortest is here, so this is the shortest, and this is the longest. So give me 47.5 over 107.3. If I move this one, I move this one. So short to long would be a total of 475 over 1073. If I wanted to do long to short, I'm going to flip that just like